Hey guys, if you're here, I'm just checking to make sure we're all good before I get too far. That's not the thing I wanted. Let's see. Live. Okay, it says we're live. So if you are here, just go ahead and say hello in the chat. And I'm just trying to pop up my chat on my end. Which I can't seem to find it. So I might just have to watch on YouTube. And that might be a little delayed. So, oh wait, did I just find it? No. Bear with me for one moment. The next thing to try is to see how I can go on Facebook and YouTube. But if you're on Facebook, feel free to share the live. And that way people know I'm on if they didn't get a reminder. Okay, we're just gonna watch the YouTube page, which is here. Okay. Okay, so I gave you guys a preview on both Instagram and Facebook of the cards that I made with this Creating Quads stencil from Tailored Expressions. So I'm not going to make it exactly like I did before. I'm going to try a different color combo, and I'm going to try some different sentiments because tomorrow is Valentine's Day. So I'm going to try and turn these into Valentine's Day cards, if that makes sense. But here is the back packaging for the layering stencil. Basically, Tailored Expressions has Creating Quad stencils where it's in, I think I like 8x10 or 8.5x11 stencil. It's divided into 4, and when you stack them all up, you can create an image. I don't think these are all stacked the right way. But it's going to create quads, so 4 sets of images. And what I had done when I made my cards is I combined, I die cut these out, and then I combined them with the backgrounds that the stencil made. So I'm going to try to do that same thing today. So first things first, Tailored Expressions does sell Creating Quads cardstock. They also do triple slim, which is 3 triple slim panels. I don't have that in front of me right now, but those are also available from them. So I just kind of pulled out a paper from this stack earlier, and I also have these foilet panels, which are basically a way that you can do your stencil but foil some extra details first. So my cards that I posted online, these were not foiled. It turns out that my mini mink has gone bad, so this is what I got from the foiling, but there is some black spots. I don't know if you can really see them there. This one was not too bad, but these were the better ones. See, there's black spots there. This one really, it didn't foil on this side. at all. So clearly I need new ink. I looked into everything. I tried, you know, different panels, different foils, but I had a friend come over on Sunday and she brought her mini mink, and I just used it like you would use a mink, and it came out just fine with the same products. So what I'm thinking is I'm gonna use these without actually, you know what, I'm not gonna use these because I'm gonna be die cutting them out. I could use these and just have it be black, so like one of my combo colors be black, but yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do that today. So I'm just gonna put, this is the packaging for their foilets. You get 3 each of 4 different styles. You can kind of see on the packaging how it adds more details. So we're gonna put all that to the side. So I've got my paper, and the first thing I typically do is I tape it down, and I just put tape on the back. And this is a matte, glass mat from Tailored Expressions, so they have outlines on here for the stencil and the cardstock for the Creighton quads. I'm going to try to use it, but if you're not looking directly above it, I don't know if it works out very well, so I'm going to just use it slightly as a guide, but not completely. So on these stencils, after I cleaned them, I didn't put them in order, so at the bottom, you may not be able to see that, there is a number 1. So on every stencil, there's a 1, 2, and 3, and 4. So that way you know what's right side up, what stencil goes first, second, last. And I don't think it really matters which one you do first, second, fourth, fifth, but it does matter if they're right side up or not. So now, I don't know if you can kind of get a peek of what the stencils look like underneath. It's a bunch of layers. So I'm going to start off with this stencil. And another thing they offer is these little squares that when you're ink blending, the ink will go into those squares and help you line up the next stencil. That's more so if you're using paper underneath your stencil. So I'm just going to line it up using the outline that's on the stencil rather than the squares. So that seems pretty good. And then before I went live, I was looking at some color combos. To see, you know, what type of combos I could do. I didn't want to do just typical pink and red because this is 4 stencils, so I need 4 colors. So I have one here. It has red, pink, a hot pink, and a purple. So I'm going to pull out my inventory book, and inside my inventory book I have all of my ink swatches. I have all of them mixed up, so no matter what brand they are, they're in here, and they are for the most part in order by color. You know how it's supposed to go, but yeah, so let's see what we want to use. Definitely think this is the red I want to use, and that because it doesn't have a name at the bottom, I know it's Catherine Pooler. So I'm going to pull out my red ink, and then I want to do a hot pink, but I don't know if I want it too dark. Like, I feel like this party dress might be too dark, so I might try honeysuckle for them. Which have their mini pads, but I have just a few, 3 large ones that I got from, I think, one of their crop and crate classes. So I have those 2 colors, and then I need a light pink. So I think I'll go with cotton candy. And so I've done this process before, but I haven't done these colors all together. So I can't guarantee that they're going to look good together, because I'm winging it as far as the colors go. I think if I look back at the picture, use Flirty Fuchsia. And another color I also like to use with Valentine's is like a teal color, so I could even do one of these, maybe the cummerbund. I'll see what it looks like next to all the other colors. Alright, so if you want, you can go ahead and take a vote of whether I should do these 4 colors, or I should pop out the blue and go with the purple. Hi Allison, thanks for joining. So that's for Flirty Fuchsia. I'm almost thinking I like it with the blue better. So let's try that. Let's go with it. All right, I can put my inventory aside now. And I need to get brushes for all of my inks. So I have a red, I have like a dark or hot pink, a light pink, this one's like a light blue, kind of a few for that, but that's the one I'll use. And I see this question a lot about whether people clean their brushes after using them. I don't. I just rub it off on paper towel. So whatever previous color I used, which for this one was a pink, but it was probably a different shade of pink than I'm going to use. So I'm just going to go ahead and rub that off. Yeah, you can see this one's kind of like a little bit more red than the pink I used before. So once it comes out like almost clean, it's ready to go. Love the light blue. Perfect. That is what I'm thinking will look nice. And this is going to be a non-traditional Valentine's Day card anyway, but we're going to make it work. And you'll see in my videos that I like to try to show you guys how you can craft your stash. Use the supplies that you already have to create something. And just because it's meant for one thing does not mean you can't use it for something else. I actually have a class coming up soon that shows you how you can use some stamps and dies differently than the way that they were created, for the most part. A little bit, like there's some modification, but not a lot. But I'll have details on that in the future. Maybe by next week, I think. I'll post those details online for you guys. One thing that's sad is when you do this, it looks like you're wasting a lot of ink. There's really not much blue on here, even though it's dyed blue. Alright, so 4 colors. What I did the last time I created is I had a friend tell me which color she wanted me to do first. So go ahead, if you have a color that you think I should do first, go ahead and put it in the chat, keeping in mind that this is going to be the bulk color of the skate. And then all the other stencils would be the details. I'm almost thinking if I use the blue as a skate, and then all the details on the skate are pinks and reds, maybe that would be cool. Or I can use blue as one of the accent colors. So I think it's going to be between using the darkest color, which is Rockin' Red, or the medium pink, which is Honeysuckle from Concord and Ninth. Okay, I'm seeing blue first. Anyone else want to vote? Okay, guess we're going with blue first. All right. So, the one thing about doing stenciling like this and ink blending is typically it's better with larger ink pads rather than mini ink pads because you use so much ink. But I have re-inkers for all these colors, so if I find that the ink is dry, I'll add some more color to it. But basically, you just take your brush, move it around your ink pad, and then make sure my stencil is not going to move. And then I'm going to go ahead and start stenciling. So I'm going to start with the skate. I'm going to start lightly because I can always go darker if it's too light, but if it's too dark, I cannot go lighter. So anyone have special plans for Valentine's Day? I think me and the hubby are just doing something simple because we've got a 10-month-old now. Maybe just eat dinner at home with her, which is fun because she's experimenting with new foods right now. She had, what did she have today? She had a little bit of a waffle today. And then she had some, I guess it was scrambled eggs. Didn't really seem to care for either one today. She just wanted her milk. And that's fine, because anything before 1 is just for fun. At least that's what I'm sticking to. We get HelloFresh dinners at our house. So we have 2 in the fridge that we could use for tomorrow night. Unless we decide to do, go to a store, get something different and special, or if we go out, I don't know. But I think we're just going to stay in. Try to save our money. We got a lot going on this week. My parents are visiting. My daughter is getting her cleft palate repair done on Friday. So I'm a little bit nervous about that, to say the least, but I'm sure it'll be okay. I think just the idea of our children going under anesthesia is scary. But I'm sure she will be fine. And we get to stay tonight with her, which is nice. At first I thought we could only have one parent stay. I guess that was their old policy. And I started to get worried because I don't think either one of us would be capable of just handling her all night if she's in pain, any pain at all. So we do much better as a team. Okay, I'm just going to add just a little bit more blue. I don't think I'm going to make it much darker than this. tell you one thing is you get a workout from this. If you go lighter, you won't wear your wrist out too badly. But the harder you go, the more of a workout you're gonna get. I see Taylor do these on her lives all the time from Taylor Expressions, and I do not know how she doesn't get tired. And I just want to make sure my color is pretty even, because I'm probably not going to line this stencil back up, which I probably could, but I don't want to risk it and try to do that. So a little bit more on this, and then we'll go to our next color. All right, so here is the reveal of the first layer. So it doesn't look like much yet. I'm going to move this down just a little bit so you can see the whole thing. Make sure that focuses back in. Give that a second. Yep, okay, cool. All right, so now we have stencil number 2. And it looks like this is going to be the wheels of the skate, the little ties, like the string, shoestring of the skate. And by looking through it, the stencil, I can kind of line it up with what I've already stenciled and not worry about these squares that I did not use. And I've learned that it's not going to be absolutely perfect. Like, I don't think these come out when they're manufactured exactly on point, but close. All right, I think that is good enough. I'm not going to be too picky with it. All right, so the skates, I think we haven't gotten to the main color of the boombox yet. So I kind of need to think what color I want for the boombox when I do that next, and what color I want to start with for details, mainly on the skate. I think this pink would be good for details. Save the pink for the boombox. Which pink? Cotton candy or honeysuckle? There's also red, but I don't think I want that as a color next. Cotton candy. Okay, we'll do cotton candy. All right, so I'm going to grab my light pink brush, and I'm just going to rub on my ink pad. I'm going to start with the skate again, and again, I'm not going to go too heavy-handed. I'm going to try not to go too heavy-handed. But sometimes I just do by accident. Yeah, Allison, I think you were right. I think the cotton candy is going to look good on the skate like this. I think that's pretty even, so I'm not going to do any more on the skate. Almost looks like I didn't pick up any color. We might need to re-ink this. I'll keep trying. I swear blending kills my ink pads, but since I have re-inkers, it's not a big deal. It lasts a lot longer if you're just stamping with them. Okay, I think I'm going to do a refill. I just have to find it. Get them out of all their little bags that are labeled. So now I have to look at each and every label to find what am I looking for? Cotton candy, yeah. No. Maybe you can still see it before I do. Just put them all on their side. It really doesn't matter. Is it possible I don't have cotton candy? Look at these guys. Not on that one, not on that one, not on that one. Wow. I do not have a refill for that. Okay, I'm going to have to buy this. Because I use that color very often. So we're just going to work with it. So I can push down the pad more. I'm probably going to have to buy that like this weekend. Get a little bit more ink if you push it in. But I was trying not to do that because I don't want to soak up all of the ink. And just for reference, these are dye ink pads, not pigment. These work pretty well with ink blending. The pigment would probably stay wet too long. I actually really love pink and blue together. So to me, this is looking awesome already. My three favorite colors are pink, blue, and purple. And combine all three of them, that's money. It's getting a little hard, but this is the last panel. I can tell it's definitely like taking up all the color. Oh boy. I really thought I had. I'll have to see if I am missing any other refills. You can usually get them at scrapbook.com for a good deal, but you have to weigh the amount of the cost of shipping with it, depending on how much you get, or if there's any discounts or anything. Alright, I think that is good enough for the pink, so we're going to go ahead and lift that up. Oh, that's so pretty. Okay. Next is going to be number 3. And I'm just going to use what I have inked up so far to line this up. This has got to be one of my favorite stencils. I was born in the 80s, grew up in the 90s, so a boombox was definitely part of my lifestyle, as well as skates. Okay. I think it's going to overlap just a little bit here, but everywhere else it looks good. So I don't know if it's supposed to, but I think that's okay. Yeah, I'm like not that big of a fan of the 80s. I know my husband likes it. I more like the 90s, millennium, and 50s. Okay, this one is really juicy. I don't know if you see all that. So I'm going to just rub some of it off before I go on here and try to do it light. And if you have a glass mat, you can reuse that ink that you put on the side and pick it back up. As opposed to if you were to wipe it off on paper, then you're losing all that ink and wasting it. Catherine Polar inks are definitely my favorite, but I like Concord's inks too. I did that one a little bit heavy. I forgot to tap off. So I'm probably just going to make this panel a little more on the heavy side, which is fine. I don't have to do all of them that way. I try to go around both ways, hoping this color isn't leaking outside of the stencil. I had a few inks do that on a different stencil earlier today. And also it's good to start off of the stencil area. So like I'm starting off on the side so I don't get any harsh marks on my stenciling area. I can even pick up the ink from there if I want to. Okay. Now one more panel. If you're one of the lucky ones to receive the other cards I made for your birthday, you can now see how much work it took to make those cards. It wasn't simple just stamping the colors, ink blending. I think I did some glitter paste. Okay, best ever craft tape. You're disappointing me right now. Okay, I think I caught it just in time. Just put that down again. Usually this tape is extra sticky. I always like to hold my stencil still no matter if it's taped down. I'm not using a grip mat or anything. Could use pixie spray, but I also feel like that leaves some residue behind. Now one thing I just realized is we don't want this to look too much like red. You want to probably have to go really dark on that, really heavy on that red, just to make sure it's darker than this pink. Just gonna pick that up. Okay, I think that's good. So pull that up. Yeah, so I don't know. I guess that wasn't supposed to really overlap, but everything else seemed to be lined up. What I could have done is just line it up on one panel. Then when I went to a different panel, line it up there. Okay. I'll push this down really hard. I wonder if the red is going to look okay. I'm almost wondering if I should do like another blue. But we're just going to go with the red and just, you know, it is what it is. This one's really juicy. I mean, it seems juicy. I don't know if it don't look that juicy, but it seems like it is. So I'm going to go pretty heavy on this, just to make sure the color stands out against the hot pink color. I think that's good for that one. I'll go ahead and do this one. I think I might have to adjust it for the skate, but we will see. I won't know until I actually move the stencil if it's going to be in the exact same place as it would have been. And last week I definitely said I was going to have a blog post before this live, but I have a 10-month-old, so it's hard to plan things and follow through with plans because children have no concept of time. So if I ever can't do a live, most likely it's because my 10-month-old. And she's not a bad baby or anything. She's actually pretty good. Alright, here's a big one. Lots of ink needed. And if you have like issues with your wrist or anything, you could totally just do like 2 stencils one day, do 2 another day, or do 1 each day. Like, you don't have to get it all done at once. Okay, this one I know I have a re-inker, and I'm just gonna re-ink it. Just so I have the extra ink on there. And I'll make it a little bit easier to make this as dark as I want to do it. I've actually used that re-inker a lot. but what I'm going to do is tap off. Just make sure I don't get too much. So come in from the side. Okay, that's helping. Getting a little bit more coverage. Stop tapping it off because I just want the dark ink. Just want to make it as dark as I can. And hopefully it turns out good. And if it doesn't, it's just paper. Alright, I want to move that down just a tad. Okay. I think there is actually perfect for the skate. And don't forget, this is our last panel, so after this, we can start making the actual card. Wasn't actually much on the skate for this one. All right, here we go. Big reveal. Okay, it's not bad. It's not horrible. Okay, so I am just going to get this ink off. No more use for it. And this is just some Brutus Monroe craft room cleaner. I love the smell of it. And it works pretty well. Alright. Just want to make sure the surface is going to be dry. Cover up my ink pads. Brushes to the side. And then I'm going to go cut these. So I believe, and I'm going to check the packaging, that these are 8 by 10.5. So I'm going to keep that in mind when I cut. On my cutter rather than off of my cutter. That was silly. What is that? 8 by 10.5? That's the panel. Let me see if the paper is actually that size. Yes. Okay. So that's same size. So we're looking at 5 1/4 by 4. I gonna tell you? Working with red ink, I should have also used a baby wipe to wipe my hands because I got some smears on my panels, but it's okay because it's a panel that I am going to die cut. But the red ink always gets me. Okay. Throw this away. So here are the 4 panels. You can see I got smudges on this one, but that's okay. So this one is not perfect, but I'm going to end up putting the boombox on it, so you're not going to really see the imperfections. So the first thing I'm going to do, just want to put my background to the side for a second. I'm going to go ahead and die cut the skate and the boombox. So these are sold separately. So the only thing about these sets is that you have to buy the stencil. Then if there's any coordinating stamps, you buy those. Buy the paper. If they have dies, coordinating dies. Like, it can add up to a lot, but I feel like it is worth the investment in the end. And you can always sell it as a package later if you feel like you're done with it. I feel like things sell better as a package. So I'm going to line it up as best as I can. And I've learned to tape off of my image just onto the die because this tape tends to tear. Oh, need to move that. It tends to tear the paper, so I am typically I have to be careful when removing it. It was just not lined up perfectly. But yeah, it rips and it can take off some of the color. Alright, I think that is good. I know I'm kind of off screen, but I had to put it in front of me so I could really see it. That tape got messed up. Alright, so there's that one. And now one for the skate. And again, I'm going to put that in front of me. I'm sorry. I just don't want to be off just because I couldn't put it in front of me. This is probably the most tedious part because after doing all that inking, the last thing you want to do is mess up the die cutting. Alright, so there's that one. So I have a Gemini Junior, and I'm just going to lay it face up on my die cutting plate. Take my other one, sandwich it on top. I'm going to run these through at the same time. Alright. So now, I'm not going to go far with these plates because I'm going to do more die cutting. I can pop this out. There's just a little bit of tape on there. There we go. Alright, not bad. not sure why there's like a little indent there. Aha. So this was on there, so that made a little indent, but no, that's not it. I don't know what made that indent. I am not sure. I'm sure it's something on my plate, but I'm not gonna spend the time to figure that out. Figure it out later. One and two. All right, so now the idea is that I'm going to use this as my skate background, and to make it pop off the panel, I'm going to use a wobble, which I'll show you in a minute. And then I'm going to use the star background for the boombox. Try to see which way looks better. I feel like the stars look like they're coming this way, but then they're going that way. I don't know. But I could just throw that in the middle, and it's fine. Now the other thing to keep in mind, what are our sentiments going to be? Well, I did some research earlier, and I picked out 2 stamp sets that kind of are Valentine-y, but can go with this this theme. So I just need to pull up my, what is it called? Color My Life. Because it is on my phone, but I don't want to risk losing the video, because that's what I'm using to record or go live right now. Okay. And we'll tell you it was a Mama Elephant stamp for 1. Mama Elephant and music. Okay, so that one's called Love Quotes. And the other one, it was skating. Oh, what was it? It was skating. I'm gonna think about that for a minute. So I'm gonna go ahead and get love notes. Love quotes, sorry. And that's why I cut it. Alright. So what I'm gonna do before I figure out where that goes, I'm gonna make the panels the size that I want them. And I think I'm gonna go with a kind of funky border. If I can find it. I think I have it out, actually. JK, I have it out. Okay. So this is wonky rectangles from Simon Says Stamp. And it basically, it's going to cut out my panel probably to the exact same size that it already is, but it's going to put the stitching around the edge. And I think that would be pretty cool. So yep, it's the exact same size. So I'm just going to have to line it up really good. I can do that by looking at the back. It's probably going to cut just a teeny bit off. I'm going to just fold that over. that over. I'll have to just do this one at a time. So again, I'm going to put it on my cutting plate, but because we had a mystery mark, I'm going to put it on the other side of this plate. And let's not lose my stamps. Put them over there. Apparently I have some tape left over from the last time I did something with this die. Might as well get that off now. I have this little bin I got from the Dollar Tree. My trash. I'm gonna just pop it out. And you can see now how it's created like a funky border around the edge. It's not like perfectly straight or anything. See, this one has a mark right there too. It's gotta be like, that's what that, see, that little piece right there, that's what made that mark. I don't know where that came from or why it's there, but it's sticking on pretty well. So I'm just gonna pop that out. It's not even a piece of paper. I think it's like, oh, it might be paste. I was using this on another card earlier and it had some paste on it, so yep, so that would make that mark. You can always try to use like a bone folder to smooth that out. But I don't even know where it is, so wherever it is. Oh, that's right there. Okay, whatever. It's good enough. So that will go with that. And now this one we're going to die cut. More best ever craft tape. That isn't quite the best ever, but that's just my opinion. It works if you need it to be extra sticky. All right, so put that face up. That's not going to show, so it's okay. Do my Gemini Junior. Even try to smooth this one out. No, not that one. No biggie. All right, take this tape off. Again, if it's on your actual image, be careful taking it off, because it will tear your paper. All right. And I don't like that there's like a border around here. I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it. Okay. So, even though this made 4 different panels, I'm going to make only 2 cards. You could do it otherwise, especially if you use the foiling, you could do that otherwise. So now we just gotta figure out where we're gonna put our sentiments. And this, last time I did it like at an angle. And the reason I want to do the skate on this one is because I don't remember going to the skate rink like that, but my husband said that he went and it had this as like a background. So I went online, kind of did some researching and to see which way it usually goes. And it seemed like it went this way. So that's how I got that. And then the question is, do I want to stamp this directly on the panel with probably black ink? And Willie Like You could even go this way. Doesn't have to be horizontal. Fits both ways. So I can either stamp it like that. I kind of want that one kind of funky too. Maybe I can do that way. I can always put it on a tag. I put a rectangle. There's also sorts of things I can do. And I'm definitely going to put a border around this because this is 4 inches by 5 1/4, and the cards are 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So I have room to do a border. So let's see. Let's see what papers I have to match these inks. But I think what I want to do is a red border. Or a dark pink. So I'm going to take these 2 colors with me. Do some color matching. So I pulled 3 colors for the red and the pink. And really, I should probably match this not to the ink pads, but to the ink on the paper. So that one would be too light. That would match. And that's Cherry Pop from Tailored Expressions for the red. And the pink is going to be Lava. It's close enough. So I don't have Terry Fashion ink, so they won't be exact match, but I work with what I got. Alright, so I'm almost thinking I could also check black because I want to stamp in black. So I have black licorice and Soul Expressions. So I could do black with the just losing everything here. See, this is the part of my card making process where things start to get messy. I did that wrong. You guys aren't watching me. No one said anything. So the wheelie one has to go with the skate. And the love song one is going to go with the boom pop. Alright, I'm glad I figured that out before I actually did anything. So, wonder if my original idea will work. I think if we put that like, that would be cool. And then this in the corner. What do you guys think? And as far as the background, I think we're going to go ahead and stamp it in black because I think that will look best. I don't want it to blend in with any of the background colors. So I have 2 inks I use for sentiments, and that is Valentine Black Licorice and Versifying Claire Nocturne. The licorice is a dye ink. Versified Claire is a pigment ink, so it's going to stay wet. So I could heat emboss it, put some clear embossing powder over it, or I can just use a dye ink. I think we should heat emboss. Make this interesting. Alright, heat embossing. Got a powder tool. Need some clear embossing powder. And I actually have a Ranger clear that my friend just sent me. Shout out to Allison for sending me some goodies. Just gotta open it because I can get a chance to. Hey Tiffany, how are you? Alright. So let's do one at a time so that I don't mix up the sentiments again. So I have a mini Misty. It's a teal one from Taylor Expressions. No reason, just I wanted an updated one that was newer, and Taylor's is this pretty teal color which matches the card. So I'm just going to put this kind of generally where I want it. And then for my sentiment, I do have a way that I like to line them up. I use this transparency grid from Simon Says Stamp, and just a little bit of ink on there. So what I do is I put my panel down, then I put this down. Now we can see where we want the sentiment to go. Do I want to go that way or this way? I think like that. Alright, so what I can do is I can just look at the grid lines to make sure that my sentiment is straight and even from all sides, if that's what, you know, I want to do. I'm just pull it a little bit close to me so I can get a better look. I'm gonna remove the stereo. Use my Misty to pick up the sentiment. I'm going to show you what you can do with this as well if you're still not sure, or if you're using a red rubber stamp. You can pre-stamp it onto your acetate sheet. I'm not going to put lying, just to make sure that it's going to be where you want it to be on your card. So I just did it very lightly, and I think that looks good. So I can take that out, and we're going to, since we're heat embossing, we're going to powder the paper, make sure there's no stickiness, and that the embossing powder only sticks where we want it to. And I'm just going to go ahead and ink this up. And with having a Misty, I prefer to do a light impression and then just stamp it multiple times. I have this just press tool, it helps with applying even pressure. So I'm just lift that up, see how it looks. Obviously I can do a little bit more because I'm also heat embossing this. So I need to make sure it's going to be wet. And I find that doing it at least 3 times is good. Alright. So now I'm going to get a coffee filter. I have one of those embossing tools that all your powder goes into and you can pour it back, but it's dirty, so we're just going to use this. Just making sure this is clear and not white. And we're just going to apply the powder, do a little bit of a tap, apply the powder, tap, same thing. I like to do it 3 times just to be sure. You really don't need to flick it, but I'll flick it and then double check that the powder's still where I want it. So put the powder to the side, close that for a minute, and I just touched it. So I'm gonna have to put more powder on here. Thing is, like, if you mess it up and the powder doesn't stick anymore, you can always brush off the powder, re-stamp it with either the same ink, black ink, or you can use a VersaFine ink, clear ink, and then put more powder on. Everything is falling on my keyboard, so hopefully I don't lose you guys. Probably should just move my keyboard. And let everything else fall. Alright. If you're here, just let me know that we're still here. I don't think I pressed anything. But that was a lot of work just to get my heat gun. I like to start from the bottom, then I go to the top. So that one is done. So I feel like the embossing powder just helps it to pop a little bit. Actually, I think there's a spot. Alright. So that should be good. Put this to the side. And now we can stamp our other sentiment. All the ink off. Let's bring in our next panel. My grid that I'm also going to clean off. Go ahead and put that on top. Put the magnet down. You know, I keep getting bigger and bigger tables, and I feel like they're never big enough. Is that just me? No matter what I do, I even have like a little island in my kitchen island in my craft room now, and even with putting stuff on there, it's just not enough space. Okay, the ski, I think I want it to go like this. I want to try to stay off those lines. And I wanted this to go kind of in the middle of where all three of these reddish pink colors meet. It's also in the middle, so I think that would look nice. I'm just going to pull it in front of me so I can double check. Okay, I'm going to pick it up, put the grid back down, use my VersaFine just to try it out, and yeah, it's good enough. Alright, so now we're going to put the magnet down. Oh! Did I do that right? Did I want this way? I said I wanted it that way, didn't I? Now I have to go refer to my other photo and check. No, it's not on there. Let's see. Sorry guys, I should be a little bit more prepared, but I'm working on it. I'm actually looking through my text messages I sent my husband, because I always show him my cards Yeah, okay. Now it's the right way. Okay, we're gonna clean this off. Actually, we know where it is. Okay, we don't even have to clean it off. We're just gonna see if it's in the, no, it's not centered how I want it to be. So I'm going to clean that off. Put that down. Put my magnet down. Clean off my stamp. And we're going to try to line it up again. So I'm going to just bring it a little bit towards me. Put my skate on here. Slanted. And so now I'm not really looking too much at the grid lines, more at the stripes in the background. At first though. And then I'm looking at the grid lines. Okay. That should be good. Let's take that off. Pick it up. Ink it up. Put on there. And does that look good? Yep, looks good to me. All right. Remove my panel. And put another magnet down. 2 magnets down. So ink it up. Don't forget the powder. And stamp. Press with the press tool. Lift up. I just noticed a smudge on here. I don't know where that came from. But if we didn't have little boo-boos on our cards, what other thing would make it homemade? It's made with love, mistakes and all. No reason to get carried away with the fact that there's a little mistake. Could even cover it with a sequin or something if I wanted to. Alright, so lift this up. Careful not to snatch your fingers between the magnets. And apply the powder 2 times and 3 times. I like to flick. Looks good. Now we emboss. Alright, put my embossing powder back in the jar. Alright, now we can decide what background we're going to use, or border I should say. It's our matte. See, once you have the black on there, it doesn't seem to stand out as much as when no black was actually on the paper. I think I went this way. So we can vote, either do a black border, bring out the sentiment, or we can do a red mat to match the red on the card. I actually think the black makes a sentiment pop. I know it's not like very Valentine, but I like it. So that's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna just cut this down. Make 2 panels. So we got 1 and 2. This one may actually be better. I didn't think about that. It might be better in red. Let's see. Oh, wheelie. Wrong one. There's more black in the other sentiment. That's why I think it looks good on the black. Yeah, we're gonna work with it. All right, black it is. Get my tape runner. Go ahead and tape this down because I don't need to pop it up because we're gonna have these images up on a wobble, so that's gonna create some dimension. And since we heat embossed, the panel is a little warped, so I used a lot of tape. Try to keep it flat. And I just eyeball this. What you could do too is lay something heavy on this, but what I think, I'm gonna try to run it through my die cut machine. And I'm gonna find a scrap cardstock to go over it. Which side to use, but I want to try to keep it clean. So I'm going to keep the clean side up. I have thick white cardstock, and I'm going to send this through my Gemini, and hopefully I don't regret it. Meanwhile, go ahead and take this one off. Switch them, flatten the other one. first one turned out. Oh, see, that looks so much better. It makes a big difference, especially when I put it on the card. Then I'm going to do this one. I might want to do a new sheet of paper just to make sure the indents for the other card don't go on this. So send that through. I'm going to get my wobbles out. Now, another thing I did to the cards in the examples that I showed is that I added some sparkle paste to, you know, to the background to give it a little bit more emphasis that it was a birthday card. So I want to see what I have heart-wise. It doesn't have to be hearts either. It can just be Valentine's theme. I have one like that. I swear I had more hearts. Here's another one. That might be too many. Rotating heart stencil. Okay. I don't know if the hearts would clash with the stars though, because it's a completely different shape. But what I do have, and you know what, it might not work because we already have our sentiments down, but we'll just see what it looks like. So this one's actually a Valentine one, and I would probably want to mask this area off so that I didn't do it on top of the sentiment if I did this one. I don't think I'm going to though. And this one, I don't think it makes sense for the words. I have hearts. Maybe I can just put some heart sequins. Yeah, because I definitely think other than the colors, we need some hearts as well. So we'll jazz it up a little bit. All right, so here are the wobbles. They're called Action Wobbles. These are from Hampton Art. I'm not sure what these ones are from. If I remember correctly, one of these need a big one and one needs a little one. I think the skate is fine with that and that. So from what I figured out, believe the flat part goes onto the card. So I am going to remove the sticker from the non-flat part and just find a spot. I'll go this way. Try to center it a little bit. But basically what it's going to do is it's going to mail flat, and then the recipient's going to open the card and it's going to pop up, and then it's also going to move. So let's do it with the other one as well. I mean, it could be the big one on the thing. I don't know. I don't think it really matters. I don't have nails, so alright. Struggling a little bit. Kind of center that on there. Alright. Now we can take, yeah, I think you want this is the thicker plastic piece, so I think you want that on, you know, I don't know. I'm not even going to pretend like I know because I have no idea how I did it the first time. I guess you want this piece down because if you were to see it, you don't want to see this opaque color. Love songs, stereo. We are not mixing this up. And I want to go this way this time. Just slant it just a little. Hold it down for a second. And then it's popped up. So now you can see, you can do that. It's fun. You know, it doesn't really do anything, but it's fun. It's fun for the recipient instead of just like a flat card. I love doing interactive cards, honestly. Probably my favorite to make. That, and I love ink blending, and I love Copic coloring. Oh my god, these are just giving me trouble today. Okay. And for the skate, I definitely wanted to go like this and in the middle. So I'm going to go ahead and push that down. And, you know, it's a little heavy on this side. I actually didn't want to center. Let me see if I can pull it up. I can. We got a second chance. We got a second chance. I think I want to put it more in the middle here. And it's not sticking. So we'll just do another one. Yeah, I didn't really judge that really good. I should have put it in the center to give it more stability. Just like I put it in the center of the card. Well, that doesn't make any sense. So I'm putting it on the center of the skate. Then I'm going to take the stick off. Take off this other one. Now we can place it. I mean, I guess I can warp it a little bit. I don't know. It's not perfect. This one actually just looks like it's warped. Maybe I just push it down more. I don't know. But it serves its purpose. It'll probably be a little bit better once it's like in the card and it flattens out a little bit. But there wasn't really anything I could do to... I feel like I could have centered it more. I could have put it more in the center horizontally, but at this point, it is what it is. It's a card. All right. So now deciding what I want to do to embellish. just bringing out a bunch of enamel gems, sequins, the pearls. I don't think I want to use those. I'm not a big rhinestone fan. I don't think that matches the colors very well. No. No. I mean, that kind of matches that pink, the light one. I think I should put a heart on the skate. I also have some glitter hearts. I don't think the gold and black will go on this particular card. So we have that. And I also have some of these I got from Taylor Expressions. I haven't used them yet. I'm starting to feel like everything I have is from Taylor Expressions. I am not a sponsor for them or anything. I don't really get commission. I can give you a voucher for $10, but that's about it. Let's see if that matches. And these have a little bit of gold in them. See this red. The red kind of matches. So we could put like, do like our threes thing. Put them in, I should have my jewel picker up. I wonder if we can cover that more. I think that would be too over. So I just look at it flat and see. Bring that one down. I don't know. I don't know if I like the gold or not. So let me first try adding the heart. These would actually match pretty good too. And these ones. I feel like that kind of goes with a little bit with the middle color. Maybe. The red? I don't know. Alright. I'm just winging this, you guys. And I have my tweezers out somewhere. See, always at the end, I start to lose things. And that's why every time I make a card, I have to clear off my desk first. And then I can start making a card. Alright, so what if we could do red hearts on the wheels. See how that looks. And these are not very like permanent, so I could put them on and take them off if I don't like them. This would be helpful if I had my other tweezers. These aren't really made for this, but alright. What do you guys think? Hearts on the wheels, hearts down on the wheels, maybe hearts on the wheels, and a heart on the skate somewhere. I mean, I don't think it looks bad. It makes it more Valentine-y. And then maybe we can just decorate with these enamel dots. Or would that be too much? I don't know. Let's just see. It's not permanent. If I have 3 different sizes, I usually like to do one of each size if I can. It's always good to do them in an odd number. I know something about the, I can't tell you logistics about it, but all right. I still feel like it's missing something. I can't put my finger on it. Maybe I can add some stickles. But there's that card. And let's see, if we put hearts on this one, I think we should do. See, these are not showing up, the buttons. So maybe we could just put a heart in the middle. I was gonna put them over here. I mean, it could be. Could still do the middle too. I'm usually not like a big sticker fan, but in this case I think it works. Normally I probably stamp and heat emboss to get a glossy accent. What about that? I don't even know if we need anything for the background, but I can see what it looks like. Maybe if we put them in the center of the stars. It's not a lot of centers to actually choose from. So maybe that can just be coincidentally in the center. And no. I almost don't know if I like the heart color on this one. I don't think that pink matches as well as this pink does. So I might do red. Put this over here. Maybe, I don't know. I always have the hardest time placing embellishments. A lot of trial and error. No, I think that actually works. And let's get rid of these. Oh, I hope I didn't lie about them being hard to take off. I was pretty confident I was going to keep them there. Okay, I think it's coming off. I think these were recollection stars or hearts. I've had these for so long. It's just usually don't use them like that. Okay. Yes! Red is so much better. Just make sure it's centered. Maybe I'll just do one. Like, I almost think having 3 would be overkill. Okay. So, unless I think of something else to add to these cards, the last part is to put them on card bases. They're both horizontal. So I'm just going to do white card bases. And I have a Stampin' Up scoreboard. Use my Teflon bone folder. Oops. Don't want to drop. I don't know where the top is to that. Over here. Alright. So 4 1/4. And I think we lost a heart. Okay, I see it. Alright. So now I'm just going to fold this over. Push it down with my bone folder. It's actually not the new one. This one has like an indent in it from using it so much. Okay. So make sure it all lines up good. Okay. So to put these on, I'm going to use tape runner adhesive. Since it's a heavy panel, I like to use as much as I can. Some people use their Misty to help line this up. I just eyeball it, and usually I'm pretty good with that. And there always seems to be a little bit that needs to be cut off on every panel, because since I make these myself, they are not perfect. And of course we run out of tape. So I think I have some backup. Some is a stamp. It's not my favorite. It's definitely not sticky. I'm just gonna put some liquid glue. It'll be fine. Alright. And then it'll stick just as well. Alright. So let's put this on the card. This one's going to have the same issue, with just a little bit that needs to be chopped off. Back to our trimmer. here we go. We have 2 cards. This one, and Suddenly All the Love Songs Were About You. It's our Valentine's 80s, 90s theme card. And then we got I Really Like You with our skate wheels. And that's pretty much it. I don't think these really need much else I can say. I definitely love this one more because it has less blank space. This kind of freaks me out, but if I'd done the foil panel, if my machine were working, that would have been nice to have some detail on the side. And I'll pull that panel again if I can find it in this mess on the side. So yeah, if I had been able to foil it, there would have been stars on the sides. And I could always put like other stars that I have on the sides, but I think we're just going to keep it as it is with the little circles. Alright, so thanks for hanging out with me. And hopefully by tomorrow or the day after, I will have a list of supplies in the description below. I also intend to do a blog post. And before next week, I may or may not have it live next week because my daughter's going to be kind of healing from surgery over the weekend. So we'll see if I have time to make any cards or plan anything. But if not, I'll let you guys know. Just follow my YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, and I'll let you know. So thank you so much for watching, and if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you would like to see more lives like this. Thanks for watching. Bye. Alright guys, I'm just trying to find my mouse pad. Okay. Bye for real.